Hi, this is Boyce Lancaster, and normally we would be having a conversation like this on the stage at the Southern Theater, or at least in front of it. In this case, it's the Coda at Home conversation, and today we're talking with concertmaster Katie McLin. Welcome, Katie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Many of your colleagues are have been spending a lot of time literally sequestered. And while you, yes, are practicing the stay-at-home things like everybody else, you've also had some events. You said here of late that you just did wrap up some ASU events, Arizona State.
Yeah, so I teach at Arizona State University, and we had juries on Monday and Tuesday and final meetings on Wednesday. So I'm 2 days removed from the semester. So now I'm really just looking at the summer ahead, which usually is filled with travel and summer festivals and rep to be learned, and that's completely absent. So it's going to be a very different landscape this summer. And there certainly are aspects I'm very sad about. I don't get to see my colleagues around the world, and I have to sit in Phoenix during the 117-degree
Oh,
summer. So those are not great, and certainly the reason for why I have to stay is not great in a humanitarian sense. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to just staying in one place. I don't do that in my life, and so I have suddenly all this time ahead of me and headspace, and I get to pursue projects that I've always wanted to do, but by weight of the size of the project, haven't been able to undertake.
well, and we have a household here, your household, which has a couple of youngsters in it
Yes.
that oftentimes would be left behind. And you and your musician husband, Andrew, with whom many ProMusica audience members are very familiar over the years, maybe are having a chance to stay at home and play a little bit with them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's literally and figuratively. Andrew and I have a whole list of pieces. Oh my gosh, the violin piano repertoire is so vast. In our lifetime, we can just start to tap into it, and so we have a whole list of pieces that we're interested in taking out and woodshedding and possibly programming at the point that we can start performing again. Both my girls play instruments, and so they've been playing a lot. And there's been a little bit of cross family collaboration, and so it's
Wow.
it's it's been great.
So, is there any mommy and daddy? Why are you home all the time yet?
Oh, they're not that old. No, it's more like, why are you guys home all the time? Because they're teenagers. So I have my eldest is 15 and my youngest is just about to turn 14.
You have just gobsmacked me because I have not seen them in so long that, as they say, the curtain drops and time passes. They're
Yeah,
teenagers?
yeah. Yeah, my eldest is driving, so this is the most perfect time to learn how to drive because there's not a lot of people on the streets. So when she
Exactly.
starts kind of veering off into the other lane, I can be calm and say,
Honey, please back over here.
exactly.
That's
There's not an
funny.
imminent fear of death when she's driving, so that's a positive.
So, what do they play, and what are you collaborating on? Is there any chance that at some point down the road we might hear a little bit of this?
Ha ha. Probably not. They take after their mother in that they do not like to perform unless, all their ducks are in a row and they have control over the situation. So they inherited that, unfortunately. Um, my eldest daughter, Elle, plays piano, and my youngest plays violin and fiddle. I do not teach her, and Andrew does not teach Elle. But Mia is just starting to crack the Bach double, so I'm really excited for the day we
Yeah,
get to play that together.
yeah.
And Andrew and Mia actually just did a performance online for Mia's studio recital. So
Cool.
that was incredibly fun and precious, and went immediately to Grandma. The link for that, yeah.
Are you teaching online at all? Nat's doing a little online teaching. Vadim is as well. What are you involved in?
Well, I certainly, with the remainder of the semester since the quarantine went into effect, I've been teaching online. So I have about 22 hours a week online teaching. Now that the semester is over, it's going to go way down. I have just a handful of private students, and I'm so grateful that there is a medium that I can still help them and look out for them and do some teaching. I find I find Zoom is a fairly limited platform for certain aspects of teaching. It's really hard to talk about tone and sound quality because it's just so distorted going through the speakers. But for me, my students, the interruption of their semester and their plans and their drive towards their degree and their professional life has been really difficult, and I'm just trying to help them as best I can. So I've been really grateful for the fact that there is a platform, however imperfect, that allows me to stay in touch with them, and I imagine I will over the summer as well.
And you probably have some seniors that now they're facing a world, how do I become a
Yeah.
professional in the middle of this?
Yeah, I actually just graduated a doctoral student, going out into a landscape that is incredibly unfriendly for a freelancer. And most violinists freelance, maybe most musicians freelance right out of school. You don't land your orchestra gig, or you don't land your teaching position, um, right out of your degree. And so it's a it's an extraordinarily difficult time to be hitting the workforce in terms of the freelance world. And so I see that from his perspective. I have many friends who are freelancers, and the impact on them has been profound. And so I just for the sake of everybody, not just my friends who are freelancing, I hope that in a year from now, the ship is
Hmm.
going to be righted, and that the health of all the arts organizations will not be tremendously affected. Um, Time will tell, obviously, and safety first. But yeah, it's a scary time, and all I can do is just listen to the concerns of my students who are about to hit that, um, and let them know that it will get better. It will, hopefully, from around this point forward, it will only get better.
Do you find any kind of a silver lining in this for down the road? And if so, what is it?
Yes, of course. And I think the silver lining is what you choose to make of it. I am someone who I try to practice gratitude as much as possible, because there are so many things in life to celebrate and be grateful for. So I think for me, this affords me a chance to really deeply reconnect with my family. Not that I felt non-connected before, but all this time together is an extremely unusual gift, which I'm tremendously grateful for. Um, and I'm on an airplane, not at all to the degree that someone like Vadim is, but I do travel a lot, um, and it's been 2 months since I traveled, and I don't think I've ever gone 2 months in my professional life without traveling. So just to slow down um, and take stock and have some quiet in my head, time for contemplation and reflection. It is unexpected, and I can feel that I'm getting recharged from it. So again, although I'm very upset and anxious about the reason for it, um, it has been good for me in that sense.
And I think ultimately, when we all get back together, whether it's at the Southern Theater or at one of your recital venues or whatever, that we're all going to realize exactly how grateful we are for what musicians offer us in this world. And we're really grateful, Katie, for your time today. Thanks for talking.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Boyce. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you too. And hopefully next time it's in the Southern.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Thank you.